And I'm back. You're going to probably get tired of hearing me. I want to get some more of these dreams and visions on. We're going to be probably doing quite a few of these videos today because I've had quite a few coming in. I appreciate everybody. If you got anything, if you hear, I know Sonia messaged me earlier and said, hey, about the knocking on the door. She had the same situation with her. And we talked about that yesterday, that a lot of us had the knocking on the door. So if you have anything like that, you see any crazy pictures of the moon, anything like that, send in at chrisestep03 at gmail. You all got to be patient with me because I do all this by myself. So I got to go through, watch the videos everybody sends me. RS sent me quite a few videos a day, and I've been going through them. Zachary Butler sent me a great video on the downfall of America. And thank you, Zachary, for doing that. And Sonia sent me some more stuff. I mean, thank you guys for doing so much of this research for me. And I do the same thing. When I'm not on here, I'm researching and looking things up. Dion Smallman, he wrote me yesterday. He had some stuff that came to him. Let's see what Dion. I really love him to death. He was the one, he had so much stuff that's happened to him. And we love having him here in the family. Says, hey Chris, hope you're keeping well, brother. Last night I went to the shop to get a few bits and I saw the moon, half moon, and I looked at it and I swear I saw the dark side of it. And instead of being a little lighter than pitch black like normal when you look long enough, I'm sure it had a blood red color to it. The only one for a couple of seconds, and I looked back again. It was obvious dark, but I saw red. I continued to walk towards the entrance of the shop, and I turned to look again, and the clouds were in front of the moon, so I couldn't see it again. I got home and kept trying to see the moon to make sure that I wasn't tripping, but the clouds were over it all night. Now, funny you mentioned that, Dion. I had the same thing that happened last night, no red or anything. But when I went outside to check the moon, and I've been doing it just like you all are, I went out and there was a halo over the moon here. I mean, in a circle, like what I saw when the sky opened up. And I was like, oh, I went and ran back in, grabbed the camera and tried, but my camera is just horrible trying to catch anything in the dark like that. But there was definitely a halo, a big circle right under the moon last night. It was amazing to see it, but I couldn't get it on camera. Also, the past week, there has been weird aircrafts flying over where I live, UK East Midland. You live in a very dangerous place right now, Dion. My prayers go out to you. I hope we all get raptured and you're not stuck there. Everybody pray for Dion. Right now, there's so much going on in Europe, I'm telling you, I don't know, which is dangerous everywhere right now. Really is. Only in the night, though, I've seen these unusual aircrafts 3 times, but there definitely wasn't your normal cargo passenger flight. It had more lights, 2 on the front, like headlights of a car. I could see the clouds lift up and flew up as it flew through them, and 2 more on the sides. It also made a much larger sound than the standard aircrafts. I'm thinking military. I agree with you, Dion. I guarantee that's what it was. But I like to say I've never noticed or seen them fly over here before. The first 2 times I saw on the separate occasions were around midnight, and the third time was around 4 a.m. I've also been having very vivid dreams every day. I'll tell you the one I had last night. It was a little more complex than what I'll type, but I'll try to make it easier for you to understand. I was being escorted around by a female, and she was gloating about something we did. Don't know what we did. To the other people in the dream, just out loud to everyone like she knew them all. I was in a building and never saw the outside. It was like a shopping mall. I then went into a video game shop while she waited outside, and I knew in the dream there was this very popular video game, and it was the Jesus game. That's definitely a sign of something. I asked the shop owner if he had any left, and he thought he did, but he couldn't find any. So we both went And he flicked through every single, they went and flicked through every single video game and every section, DVDs, CDs, all this, video games, etc. Looking for the Jesus game, and none was found. I then woke up while flicking through it in the dream. Interpret this as you wish. Well, my interpretation from it, Dion, is that Jesus is going to be gone, and nobody's going to be able to find him. And I think that means that Jesus is coming to get us. And people's going to be looking for Jesus, but he's not going to be here once we're gone. That's my fast and sturdy thoughts on what that dream means, the interpretation. But I appreciate you, Dion, sending that in. And like I said, I watch Monkey Works, Dion. I don't know if you watch him, but you can subscribe to him. He's a great man of God. A lot of people don't like him because he loves the Jews. I love the Jews. Got the big Israeli flag flying out there. So he got a chance to go to Israel here lately, but he keeps an eye over your skies there. And he said there's been a lot of activity, and there's a lot of spy planes going over top of you too. So they're monitoring everything that's being towed on the ground there in Britain. So just know this is a fact. We got it here too. They got these big things flying over top of you constantly, going in a circle, getting your phone data and all that stuff. Right now they're keeping an eye. They're spying on everybody, basically. Let's see. There's one I'm having interpreted, so I can't use that one yet until I get it interpreted. Now, Jennifer San Angelio wrote me in yesterday. I said, I woke up early in the hours around 3 a.m. in the morning, and I couldn't sleep. So I decided to read where I had left off in Daniel. Great chapter, people. Daniel tells you a lot of what's coming right now. I read and then laid down and fell back to sleep. While sleeping, I dreamed I was in a house talking to my husband in our bedroom. When I heard a knock on the door, I yelled that I would get it because I didn't want my small girls running to the door. When I opened the door, there was a man dressed all in white with a gold belt around his waist. He told me it was time to go. Wow. I said, go where? He stepped aside, pointed to the narrow dirt road. I then woke up, was shocked about my dream, and a little scared. The next few days, I prayed to Jesus and asked him to please explain the dream and tell me where I was going. Several nights later, I had another dream. I was standing in total darkness, and an angel was standing beside me on my left shoulder. That's awesome. It didn't matter how hard I tried to see the angel, I could not see him. I then looked to my right, and then I could see a brilliant light coming. I remember sobbing and saying, it's Jesus. I remember I was so scared some bad words came out of my mouth. Also, when I looked to my right, I saw some people crying and pleading. I knew they were going to hell. As the Lord approached, I continued to cry because I knew I was so dirty in his presence. He came in front of me, and he was suspended in air. I tried to look at his face, but couldn't. Each time I tried to see his face so bright it blinded me, and it will. Almost like a sunspot, but greater. I then looked to my left and saw a stream of water with trees, gorgeous trees, around it. I walked up to the water, and it was alive. It kept trying to grab me and bring me in. I began crying to Jesus about the water. I asked Jesus, is this the beast coming? Keep losing my place. Let's see. I will get it, people. Give me time. How did I lose my place that bad? See, Jesus coming out of the water. The angel is behind me. And this was the water that the saints had to pass through before entering heaven. Okay. I then began crying uncontrollably. I kept trying to look at Jesus, but I couldn't look at him. He had a light shining, all saying, over him, even his feet. The angel then spoke from behind me and said, "You are about to see your grandma." I knew then that I was going to heaven because my grandmother was an absolute saint. One thing that really upset me in the dream is that I was saying bad words. I don't understand that. Yes, I do say bad words occasionally. We all do, Jennifer. I feel terrible about that. P.S. I don't know why, but there is a few details I wanted to tell you about the dream. It was hot outside when the rapture happened. I know this because I was wearing shorts. I'm a very cold-natured person. Me too. So if I'm wearing shorts, it's really hot. 2. The angel that knocked on the front door had curly blonde hair. This may not mean anything, just wanted to put it out there. I knew the people that were sobbing on the left were going to hell because they were being put in a box and were going to be put down with a rope tied to the top of the box. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen when it's hot. It doesn't mean that. It's just letting you know that. See, I've dreamed about it hot and cold during the raptures. I think he's just letting us know to be ready. And it's like a sign. Because if you sit and wait on that situation to happen, it's not going to happen like that. It's just going to be different. It always is. I've been doing this for many, many years. I'll tell you an instant. Many, many years ago, I had a dream that I can't get out of my head, okay? I was here locally in my town, and all of a sudden, it went dark. And I saw jets flying over, and they was bombing the area. And I'm like, what is the world's going on? About that time, I saw a convoy of M1A1, the Army's main battle tank. I seen them coming in a line, and the people, and the first tank stopped where we was at. And I popped a hatch, and a guy wearing a British flag, he was a British general, in our tanks. I'm like, what in the world? And he's like, you in a British accent. Now, this has been years ago. He said, you guys are going to have to get back in your homes. We're trying to protect you, but you got to get back in your homes. Well, come to pass, about a year later, I ended up getting married, and my wife had the same dream, but she was in another county. And she saw the British people in the tanks and the jets flying over, bombing the place. It's crazy. Will that come to pass? My first wife, no, she's already left. She don't even live here anymore. But the thing is, will that probably come to pass? Probably it won't happen that way. But there was a reason why we saw the British commandos in our tanks. And there was jets flying over, destroying everything. Now, I couldn't see the jets because they were so up. All you could see was the lights, the beacon lights under the jets. But we knew that they was bombing. You could hear the bombs being released and bombing. Don't know who they was and why the British guys was in our tanks. I don't know. They was not mean. They was courteous. They was trying to protect us. I don't know who they was trying to protect us from. But I think that will come to pass because I'm not the only one that's seen it. Other people seen the same thing. Does that mean we're going to be here? No. But sometimes you get to see things that's going to be here even after you're gone. I mean, that's just the way it happens. You're just supposed to warn people. That's what it is. And when we have these dreams, we're just supposed to, it's letting us all know that we're all seeing the same thing. We're all seeing that we're going to be raptured, that something's happening, something's coming. That's why we started the channel, so everybody would know and we could all work together as a family to be able to know all these things that we're all getting, these dreams and these visions and everything. It's all coming about. And he wanted us all to meet on here, Jennifer. That's what all this is about, was us getting to know each other. So, I can't cover so much area, but now I have Jennifer and I have R.S., Sonia, Zachary, and so many more of you that literally I can cover much more distance. So we're always aware of what's going on around us. And that's what God wants us to do. We can communicate, talk to people, tell people Jesus is coming, that all the signs are there. It's basically we're modern day Noahs, okay? We're telling everybody the water's coming. Get on the boat. And nobody's listening. I don't know about you guys, but it's like they don't care. They're so in love with the world, they're hypnotized with it. But long as we all know what's going on, we're going to be able to get on the boat. And God's going to seal us. So that's my view of it, Jennifer. I love the dream. Anytime you see anything, Jennifer, like that, send it in and we'll talk about it. Sorry I got lost in a couple of those spots because sometimes this way this thing reads on here, if I don't highlight it, I get kind of lost on it. And I can sit and do this video over and over and still do the same thing. So I figure these videos are best when I do them the way I do. I don't put a lot of great stuff into them because I like people that are genuine. When I watch these videos, I watch a lot of them. They're just mothers getting out there on the porch and doing. That's the ones I watch. These ones that have all this great technology, everything, I don't even bother with them because I like the ones that are more, I don't know, homemade. That's what I like. So we'll get some more on. I appreciate Jennifer writing in. I'm going to say, God bless. You'll see some more coming out. And if you don't see me again, what's my saying? I'll see you in heaven.